Yeah, we're going to be having a really, really important conversation, especially for motorists. If you're a driver, if you are, someone that's constantly on the road, you should at some point have received a traffic fine. And there's been this growing phenomenon of traffic police, JMPD, TMPD, doesn't matter, whatever, metro that you find yourself in here in South Africa, there's a version of, JMPD, TMPD, traffic police. And essentially, what they would do is to get you to pay outstanding fines right there on the roadblock. So, yeah, we'll be unpacking that, whether or not it's legal, whether or not you should be doing it, and what to do if you are coerced to do it. And we're going to be, unpacking all of that with none other than founder and chief facilitator at FleetMax, DriiveSMART, Ashref Ismail. Is someone that knows a lot about, being on the roads, how to interact with the law, the do's and don'ts, and he's going to be unpacking all of that for us. Do you have to pay at the roadblock? Ashref, thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure. Welcome to Salam Media. Always look forward to chatting to you.
Talelo, it's always a pleasure from a very, very cold on the hill here in Pretoria. As you can see, I'm dressed in my anoraks and all the rest. It is very cold. I cannot handle the cold. But I hope that wherever the listeners are, they are keeping warm.
No, inshallah, everyone is keeping warm. It's really cold here in Johannesburg also. The question that I think is very, very important, we'll jump right into it. Do you have to pay your fine at a roadblock? Traffic police approaches you, there's a roadblock, they come and check your license, they come and check your vehicle, they scan your disc, and then it turns out you have a traffic fine. They bring a cash paying card machine to you, say, hey, on the spot you need to pay. Can they do that? Do you have to? What are some of the rights that you have if presented with that scenario?
So, Lailo, that's a very important question, especially considering if you see on social media the number of interactions we have and that are being reported. Many of them don't end well, unfortunately. So by law, you are not supposed to, you are not compelled to. It all depends on the level of the infringement, where the infringement is currently. So according to the R2 Act, R2 meaning the Administrative Adjudication of Road Traffic Offences, basically what they've done is they have decriminalized road traffic offences and turned it into an administrative system, which is indeed saving a lot of time at the courts, etc. But what now it does, it puts the responsibility back into the motorist or the infringer's hands. And essentially what they do is they do the following. If you have broken any road traffic rule or regulation, you will be given an infringement notice, what we call the traffic fine. It'll either come to you by post because it's a camera fine, or maybe you have been stopped at the roadside and you will receive a fine on the spot. So that's the infringement notice. It gives you 32 days, which if you pay within 32 days, you will receive a 50% discount. Now, if you ignore it or you have forgotten about it, they will then send you a courtesy letter. Once the courtesy letter comes in, that means you will now automatically lose the discount, number one. And number two, they will add an administration fee to it. So let's just say you got a 500 Rand fine. They might add 100 Rand, so that will become a 600 Rand fine. If you ignore the courtesy letter, it then goes on to what is called the enforcement order. And once it gets into the enforcement order, and if they get the courts involved, then they have issued a warrant out for your arrest. And if you fail to pay at the roadside, they can and will arrest you. But in doing so also, the warrant is very, very clear. It's got to be an original copy. They must prove that indeed the warrant was delivered to your home and was accepted by somebody in the household, maybe your spouse, your brother, your father, or somebody, and there's a signature attesting to the fact. Other than that, they cannot arrest you, and you need not pay on the side of the road. Many of these roadside traffic stops, as they are, have the convenience of having the card machines there. You'll see they're operating from a mobile unit where they'll take you in there, they'll take your license, they'll scan through the system. It will tell you how many outstanding fines you have and how many of them are now in the warrant phase. The ones that are at the warrant phase, unfortunately, yes, you will have to pay. But if it's in the infringement phase, that means it's still in a green phase, or in the what I would call the courtesy phase, that's the yellow phase. That means start making up arrangements to pay because now you've lost the discount. And if it gets to the red phase, and if they have a warrant out, and remember, a traffic officer cannot issue a warrant. A warrant can only be issued by a court official. So that's very important to remember as well. It's not complicated. People make these things very complicated, Salelo, because the interactions with the traffic authorities become ugly and they become unnecessary and always ends bad.
No, definitely. And I want to touch on that point. The interactions with the police, whether it's SAPS or whether it's the traffic police, the situation where you're ultimately arrested, you're taken behind bars. How do you deal with that one? What are some of the steps you can take after that? And number two, I think there's a question that our listeners have been asking, and they want to know, is it within your rights also to record police officers during a stop? Can you take out your phone? A lot of people have been doing this for their safety, to record, to document whatever interaction that they'll have with the police at that moment. Is it within your rights to do that? And if so, what precautions can one take? Ashref, can you hear me? Ashref, are you able to hear me?
Salelo, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but the picture is frozen and I can't hear anything on my end.
All right, I think we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to continue with Ashref. I think it's just some network issues, but those two last questions, very, very important, and ones that need to be answered. So we'll pick up the conversation right after this.
Joining hands, Salam Media. Humanity sets the agenda.
The kitchen, the heart of the home, where memories are made and celebrated. Our go-to place for those freshly stacked pancakes early in the morning or for that late-night snack munchies. We are in there together, cooking, eating and celebrating life together. Let's keep the kitchen a place that is shared by everyone, where we build stronger bonds and grow together. Sunfoil, Now We Cooking. Visit nowwecooking.co.za for recipes that everyone can help make.
In South Africa, countless numbers of sick patients leave their homes at the crack of dawn to join long queues at clinics and public hospitals, many of them suffering pangs of hunger in addition to the symptoms of disease. The Al Imdad Foundation's Slice for Life teams deliver sandwiches to these patients at more than 40 hospitals and clinics across the country. Help us to keep on relieving hunger. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Penny Appeal's Education First campaign helps children to get access to quality education.
I'm 14 years old. When I grow up, I'd like to be a scientist.
We believe every child belongs at school,
And we want education, a better education.
learning and dreaming their way to a better future. With your help, we can provide classrooms, desks, stationery packs, and school shoes. Help make these dreams a reality. Visit www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
World-class financial services only at Sapphire Global, your financial partner. If you are looking for Islamic, Sharia, and ethical financial products, look no further. Sapphire Global offers a wide range of financial service offerings from short-term to life and investments. A full-service center with all financial requirements under one brand. Our highly skilled and experienced consultants are ready to help protect your financial future. Contact us on 041 001 0184 or visit our website on www.sapphireglobalfs.com. Sapphire Global is an authorized financial services provider.
Hey Gulam,
Yeah?
did I return your lawnmower last month?
No, bye, you didn't.
Oh no. Now what'll I do? I wanted to borrow it again, man.
With Randry Jewelers, you won't have to borrow or lend because the prices are so well trimmed on all gold and diamond jewelry. Alternatively, we could remake your old jewelry into a brilliant new design. Visit Randry Jewelers at 151 Stevens Lamini Road, Musgrave, Durban. Randry Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
Connect and stay ahead with Salam Media. This is Salam Media, coming to you live from South Africa.
Welcome back. You're still tuned in to News and Views with myself, Salailo Makwidiri. We're still having a very, very insightful conversation with founder and chief facilitator at FleetMax DriiveSMART, Ashref Ismail. Ashref, thank you so much for staying with us. Before we lost you there for a moment, I was asking two very, very important questions. Number one, if you are arrested, if you find yourself behind bars because of your interaction with whether it's SABS or it's JMPD or TMPD or any and every traffic department in the country, what steps of recourse can you take? And the second question being one that a lot of our listeners have been listening to, whether or not it is within your rights to record police officers with a phone. This is something that we've seen a lot of people do. Can you do it? Are you permitted to do it? And what precautions should one take if they are presented with that situation?
Salelo, this is such an important thing, right? And I'm probably just want to spend a little more time on it. Why even try to get arrested? I always say, right? Okay, we're not talking about the fact that you must approach with a bribe or offer a bribe or do anything illegal. Two wrongs don't make a right. So I'm not going down that path at all. But what I'm saying is that in most cases, 9 out of 10 times, you are dealing with a human being. And if you deal with a human being in a respectful manner, explaining whatever challenges you might have had, in most cases, you will find they are very open to suggestions. They are in terms of, understanding your predicament and letting you off with a slighter, a less severe fine, or perhaps even avoiding an arrest altogether. Indeed, there are cases when they have no option and they have to arrest you. Chances are maybe you've got multiple fines that are already in an enforcement warrant order, which you have ignored, or it can be that you have been traveling at a very high rate of speed. Let's say you're doing 160 kilometers in a 100-kilometer zone. That is 60 kilometers over the threshold. You know that any speed over 40 kilometers per hour. So if the maximum speed in a built-up area is 60 and you are doing 100 plus kilometers per hour, it's no longer a fine, it's a definite arrest. Or you're overtaking dangerously on a barrier line, or reckless and negligent driving, or for instance going through a red light. And you do so consistently, maybe 2 or 3, the traffic officer has found you going through multiple intersections through the red phase. So in that case, obviously, then they have no choice but to arrest you. Drunken driving would be included in that category of offenses as well. So the thing is that if you are arrested, then of course, don't. I always tell people whenever I see this on social media, don't make a scene at the scene of the arrest. In other words, at the roadside. It's just not advisable at all, simply because you are confronted by a roadblock. There's going to be multiple officers there, many a times multidisciplinary roadblocks, where they've got numerous personnel there that will basically subdue you and throw you into the back of the van. And that is all unnecessary, really. If you are going to be arrested, let it be a dignified arrest. As a dignified arrest, accept whatever they are telling you, go to the police station, let them open a docket, and then you call for your lawyers. That's your first step you will do. You will ask to have a bail set for you, and you can then be released in a couple of hours. The challenge is that if you are arrested on a Friday, for instance, you may find there's no investigating officer available. And that's the very tragic reality, that you would have to spend the entire weekend before somebody can make a plan for you on Monday morning. So my point is, that prevention is better than anything else. Try not to get into the situation in the first place. And then coming to the last question, which is a real issue as well. Today, everyone is a reporter, everyone has a smartphone, and everyone wants to record every altercation that takes place out there. Yes, you are allowed to do so, on the proviso, Salelo, that you do not interfere with the investigations or the procedures of the traffic officer or the police officer. So that's very important to remember. And also, there's like a 10 meter, you must stand 10 meters away from them. So if a member of your family is being arrested, you can't run in front of the police officer and shove their phone into their faces and say, yeah, I'm recording you and I'm interfering, I'm whatever. And you start talking on top of them, and you're just not giving them a chance to do. They have every right to arrest you as well for interference. There's a thing called interference. So avoid those kind of situations. Stand a distance away. And yes, you can record. You are absolutely at liberty to record, because the Constitution is clear. Whatever the eye can see in public, you can actually record. But of course, on the proviso that you don't interfere with the investigations.
No, definitely. Very, very important. And I think, our listeners are going to appreciate those insights. Ashref, thank you so much for chatting to us. Always a pleasure. And I know we're going to be chatting again in the not so distant future. And I hope you keep warm.
Thank you so much, Salelo. Keep it together. Don't forget to buckle up. Love you guys all. Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, salam. That was Ashref, Ismail, founder and chief facilitator at FleetMax DriiveSMART. And I think the key I think takeaway from that conversation is the fact that you can record. So you can use your phone to capture whatever interactions that you have with the police, as long as you're not shoving the camera in their faces, as long as you're not shouting at them. But as you heard, according to our constitution, whatever the eye can see can be recorded with a smartphone. So next time you feel like you're not safe, you feel like you're being harassed by the traffic police or the SABs, well, don't be scared to pull out your phone and record. It is well within your right and can do a lot of good for you. But then again, I think we need to understand at the end of the day that our men and women in blue, our traffic police, also, they're human beings. Let's treat them with a bit of respect. As long as they're showing respect to you, they're working within the confinements of the law, then there's no reason. I think there's this approach by South Africans a lot of times where the moment you're stopped by the police, already you are on a fight mode. Already you're like, I'm going to show them who I am. I know my rights. No, I don't think that's the correct approach. I think they stop you. They have every right to stop you. They're doing their jobs. As long as they're approaching you with the right kind of attitude, they're respecting you, and you don't feel in danger yourself, then I think, your interactions with the police are not supposed to go out of hand. And then again, if you're feeling unsafe, I think you can definitely take out your phone and record. That's very, very important. There are people that impersonate to be police officers. There are police officers that are trying to swindle you, get a bribe. I think we can't shy away from that. It's a reality. But, let's respect our men and women in blue. They stop you. Let them do whatever that they need to do. Then be on your way. Doesn't have to end in violence or any kind of altercations. Going to take a quick break. When we come back, news and views continues after this.